Hey everybody, I'm Jack, and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. Hope you're all having a lovely weekend. Man, our weather has been very pleasant the last probably 3 days. I haven't had to use anything in the house in 48 hours. No air conditioning, no heat. That's my sweet spot right there. Not super cool yet, but God, just such a relief after that brutal summer we had. I think we were still in the 90s as of a week ago, but now we're like around 80, like about 80 during the day, sometime high 70s. We've had some 50s at night. I think we had one night that was 50 degrees, but yeah, loving it, loving it. This weekend, I want to talk about letting go of ego and embracing your true self and how I do this with mindfulness. Guys, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, I'd really appreciate it if you go down and hit that subscribe button and then click on the little bell and check send notifications so you can come back and check out some more of my content. Oh, hey, I'm going to put in a little plug here too. I'm wearing one of our unisex long sleeve hoodie shirts. These are super comfortable. Down in the description below, there's always a link to the store, rawtropicallivinggear.com. And I've got a number of different designs on there. This isn't the only one, but this is a really kind of a lightweight shirt. My most comfortable shirt I have, so I had to share that with you. I got a little reading today from livelovesimple.com. And this is something I work on all the time. This is something basically I've been working on since about the beginning of my raw food journey for about actually going back almost 8 years, is ego, getting away from ego. And, you know, for anybody that's real specific out there, real literal, when we talk about the ego in this sense, we're not necessarily talking about it from a psychological standpoint, like, you know, the ego, the id, and the superego. But this is definitely something that I constantly work on, and I probably will for a couple of more lifetimes to come. And it just simply, the title of the article is Let Go of Your Ego. Little quote here to start it off. When ego is lost, limit is lost. You become infinite, kind, and beautiful. Do you know the difference between your true self and your ego? Many people don't. In fact, they don't even realize that there is a difference between the two. Most people identify themselves as simply me, but this is an enormous mistake, a mistake that is responsible for much unnecessary suffering and emotional pain. It is critical that we acknowledge that our true selves and our egos are separate. Let me read that one more time for you. It is critical that we acknowledge that our true selves and our egos are separate, and that's a tough one. More importantly, we must learn to know the difference between the two. So what is the ego? The ego is many things, but mainly it is the thing that holds you back. It is the thing that keeps you up at night with worry. It's the small voice in your head that is constantly cutting you down and telling you that you are not enough, not smart enough, not thin enough, not strong enough, not pretty enough, not cool enough, and so on. When you feel your spirit soaring, the ego rushes in and stops you. Your ego says, you cannot do that. You can't be what you dream to be. You can't accomplish the goals that you have set for yourself. You're being crazy. You're being irrational. Your ego tells you to stay where you are, to stay where it is safe and secure. Does this sound familiar? Do you recognize this ego? Have you heard it in your head? Yes, me too. We all have. I have heard it said that no one in the world will ever abuse you as much as you will abuse yourself, i.e. negative self-talk. But the truth is that no one will abuse you as much as your ego will abuse you. To be clear, the ego is not intentionally malicious. It is not deliberately causing you harm. What you must remember about the ego is that it is entirely based in fear and nothing else. Your ego cuts you down because, believe it or not, it is trying to protect you. In its fear, the ego believes that cutting you down will prevent you from failure, humiliation, pain, and suffering. Because if you do not live, dream, take risk, and explore, then you can't get hurt. You can stay safe in your cocoon forever, and your ego will be quite happy there with you. But, another quote here, and the day came when the risk to remain tight in a bud was more painful than the risk it took to blossom. anais nin. So your true self. There is a counterforce to the ego. It allows you to overcome all of the ego's fear, anxiety, worry, and scare tactics. It is your true self. Maybe you've caught glimpses of it. Perhaps one day you were floating in the ocean, warm sun at your face. As you lie there peacefully, all fear, worry, and anxiety left your spirit, and you felt an exquisite calm. Perhaps it was while you were riding a bike. You were speeding down the driveway, cool wind in your face, and you felt, this is it. This is my peace, calm, happiness. Perhaps it was in the gym and you were pounding down on the treadmill, sweat pouring from your face, knowing that you were doing it, becoming that beautiful form that's always been inside of you. Or maybe, like me, you were on a stage speaking to a group of people, 100 faces looking up at you, and you were giving them your message of hope. You have had one of these moments. They are different for all people, but they are the same in that for a brief moment, we catch a glimpse of our true selves and our egos are completely gone. In that moment, there is no fear, no worry. There is only you, infinite, kind, beautiful you. Know the difference. Embrace your true self. All suffering is ego created and caused by resistance. Your ego is a part of you. You can never be rid of it entirely, but you can learn to recognize and overcome it. The key is to carefully monitor your thoughts. You must remain aware. Happiness is slowing down and listening to the conversations inside your head. When you hear your ego come out and start to cut you down, address it immediately. I know you're trying to protect me from a future pain that you think is coming. I love and appreciate your desire to protect me, but there is no need. I will not dwell in fear. If you can remember to do this, your true self will prevail over your ego every time. In addition to recognizing and overcoming your ego, you must also embrace your true self. Seek out those moments that allow your true self to shine through. Create more of those moments for yourself. When you feel that sense of calm, exquisite, infinite peace in your soul, harness it. Capture that feeling and call upon it often. Stop living in the painful shadows of your ego. Allow your true self to begin guiding your life. And this is where I can relate so much from my mindfulness meditation practice, because that's when, and it's always just brief glimpses. I'm no master meditator. I'm no expert at it. I'm not perfect at it. I don't even know if I'm any good at it, what that means. But I get those glimpses. I get those moments of just pure true self, the pure true self. And that's generally coming from when I'm focused on my breath. And, I'm just basically focused. I've mentioned this a number of times. Basically, my meditation practice is simple as I'm breathing in, I'm breathing out. But when I'm actually really deep and I'm focused on that, in other words, where I'm concentrating like the whole length of my inhale, all I'm aware of is the inhale. And when I'm exhaling, all I'm aware of that exhale. There is that moment right there where you're, bam, that is it. That is the true self right there. There's no judgment. Even with thoughts coming up, you're not judging them. You're just, there's things happening in your mind. There's events going on. But that self, the real self, the you that you don't traditionally think about, is that quiet one. It's the one that's watching. It's the watcher. That's a good, perfect way of putting it. I've heard a number of times. But anyhow, hope you enjoyed that little reading this morning. I enjoy connecting with you guys on the weekend. I'll probably get back to doing more videos during the week here real soon. But anyhow, have a lovely rest of the weekend. And if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please, please. And I'll see you again soon. Peace.